So I wake up one morning and I hear this intermittent beat. If your alarms need batteries, you'll just hear that intermittent beat. So I was confused because I'm hearing this intermittent beat, but I'm seeing this haze in the air. And so I'm walking around. I live on 3 levels. You enter on the main level, then you have the finished basement, and then you have the upstairs bedrooms. So I'm upstairs and I said, okay, where is this haze coming from? I come down to this main level. I go down to the basement. I can't find the dadgum smoke, but I'm still hearing this beat. So I go outside and I said, well, let me see if I see this smoke outside. And I'm seeing the smoke outside. And the lady, like several doors down from me, I looked over at her and I said, do you see that smoke? Do you know where it's coming from? And she kind of looked at me funny. And she said, no, I don't see any smoke. So I come back in the house cussing. I ain't gonna lie, I was cussing my butt off. See, how in the heck doesn't she see this dadgum smoke? So I'm back upstairs, main floor, basement. Well, eventually, because I keep hearing this beat, but none of the smoke alarms are going off, I call the fire department. Pretty soon, a big fire truck pulls up and at least four firemen come in the house. They're all over the place. They're not seeing the smoke either. They hear the beat. So they're upstairs, they downstairs, full equipment, fully loaded, fully packed. And they come back upstairs and they show me that what's beeping is your carbon monoxide detector plugged in over here. It appears to be not functioning and it's letting you know that you need to replace it. Well, I'm still seeing smoke and I'm convinced I'm smelling it now, but I don't understand how come this lady outside, this house full of firemen are not seeing this smoke. So they finally leave. They are convinced that this lady's tripping because we're not seeing any smoke. And this dead carbon monoxide detector, there's no carbon monoxide. We don't know what our problem is, but guess what? We got to get back to the station. So they all left. So I'm still walking around trying to figure out why am I the only son of a gun seeing this smoke and smelling this smoke. Well, eventually I rubbed my eyes and realized that I had gone to sleep in a pair of cheap colored contacts that I got at the beauty supply store. Now, once I realized I had those on, I knew, Linda, anytime you sleep in these things, you wind up with this haze and you need to take them off. So I took them off and within a few minutes, my whole vision cleared up. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because that's exactly how trauma affects us all. We are wearing these dirty contacts and nobody can tell us that the whole world is not inundated with smoke to the point where we are convinced that we're even smelling it. You can't tell that your vision, your sight, your perspective is off unless there are other people in your life to tell you that. You have to have a troop of truthful, trusted others who you know have your best interests at heart, because there are going to be a lot of times you're not going to want to hear. Couldn't nobody convince me that this place wasn't filling up with smoke. Nobody could convince me that I wasn't smelling what wasn't even there. Now, how embarrassing is that? I'm looking 14 karat crazy, cussing out the lady down the way because she doesn't see the smoke. Now, that's kind of a funny story, an embarrassing story. But all I want the takeaway to be today is that we all suffer who have survived trauma. We all have our perspectives clouded like that. Now, if you are perceiving the world through dirty contacts, okay, every decision you make in your life is colored by the way you're seeing the world, and you are not seeing the world clearly. You aren't seeing it straight, okay? Now, if everything you perceive, if your perspective and everything you perceive is telling you that everything is ZY, but the whole world with clear vision knows it's AB, then you're making decisions based on a false unreal premise, and it can do nothing but walk you into some more bad decisions. Okay. Now I went through that. Look, I can't tell you how many unaffirming relationships I've been in. Okay. Relationships with people going all the way back to when I was in college, where I married a guy that was kind of beating me up. Okay. Then left that marriage. I'm running for my life. I'm in survival mode. Okay. And then I'll have to tell you that whole story, or you can read the book. I'll put out a series of videos telling my life story. But then I got into another bad relationship, then another bad relationship, then another bad relationship. None of them were good for me. Why? Because I'm making all of these relationship decisions based on the cloudy vision. And I didn't have enough sense to just take the daggum contacts out my eye. Okay. I'll tell you another situation. So the last guy that I broke up with was about 8 years ago. And I remember him telling me that, look, because he used to like to barbecue, and I had white carpet. It was very light carpet. And he said, he came upstairs one day and he was all regretful because he said he had dropped a whole plate of barbecue on the carpet. Well, I kind of said, well, don't worry about it. I'll get it up. I cleaned it up and everything, right? Well, after I broke up with him, my sister recognized that I was having a lot of trouble seeing. I already have night blindness. That's a given. Okay. At the last semester of my master's degree program, I all of a sudden lost my eyesight, and they couldn't figure out what that was. So I have distorted vision with certain illumination. But she recognized, Linda, you aren't seeing anything. You can't be out here driving like that. You're behind. It's going to the doctor to see what your major malfunction is. She insisted on it. So, okay, I'll go do this. I was 80% blind in my right eye, and I only had a little vision in my left eye. The problem was that I had cataracts so bad that I wasn't seeing anything. So I went through the surgery. I had both of the lenses replaced, and over time I began to see stuff. That big grease stain in my white carpet, I never saw it, but all of a sudden it's coming clear to me. I saw cobwebs. My walls needed to be washed. I saw dirt I had no freaking clue was there. And as my vision cleared up, honey, I went to cleaning house. And that's what we have to do. We have to have somebody that's going to care enough about us with no ulterior motives, because we have to know that when we get our back up and don't want to hear what they got to say to us, we have got to know that we have to trust what they're telling us, whether we like it or not. Because we are not going to like it. It's going to be foreign to us. So we need to know that we can trust them enough to listen to what they have to say, because it's like they are our blind cane until we clear up our vision. Okay. They're kind of like our seeing eye dogs. Linda, you're getting ready to step in some crap. I'm telling you now, you need to back off. But see, the deal is this. These people have to have enough backbone to withstand the blowback, because you're going to give them some blowback, and they have to be strong enough not to give a rip about you tripping. I am telling you truth here. What are you going to do about it? Okay. So, hey, that's just a little thing I wanted to share with you guys, some of my dumb antics and everything. I will put a link to a sheet for you to help you to develop your tribe, because you may need a different, truthful, trusted other for different situations. You might need somebody like that in your job, in your career. You might need somebody in your personal life to help you to navigate relationships. I'm not just talking about romantic relationships here. You need somebody to help you to navigate some of the relationships in your career and other aspects of your life. So I'll give you send you to a link that'll take you to a worksheet that you can get that's going to help you to develop your tribe, and take your time with it. You may write some things down, you may scribble some things out, but just know that you need to fill this out over time and find you somebody you can trust, because trust me, if you've been through some trauma, you'd be just like me, walk out here thinking everybody wrong but me, because nobody's seeing the stinking smoke that didn't exist. Well, I'm Dr. Linda F. Williams, and always remember that your greatest power exists in the truth of who you are. Be sure to know that truth.